Hi guys, it's the middle of the night and I'm trying to get this video out for you, and I'm wanting to answer a question that one of my followers had asked me. Now, we're just about wound up with the Spiller and Burr series. Right now I'm letting her rest just a minute while I got some nipples coming in because I'm changing out the stock nipples. The flash hole is just way too big in them, and it's just disintegrating the caps. When you pull the trigger, the cap is just exploding into shrapnel. There isn't even a cap, so to speak, to fall off. You're getting it played out flat like that instead of a round cap. And I know it's got a good mainspring in it, so it's just way too much pressure, and I'm getting too much fouling on the inside face of that hammer. So I've got a set of slick shots coming. I normally don't change out the nipples in a gun unless it warrants it, and this one warrants it. It's not that it's sucking the caps or something like that, it's the fact that the nipple itself is just no good for what I'm trying to do. So that should be in the next day or so, and hopefully by next Friday I will have it where I can take it out, shoot it, demonstrate the proper technique, and then do the final video where I'm going to do a detailed field stripping. But in the meantime, I've had several people ask about this. I have gotten bullets from Arizgone bullet molds, and I have got bullets from Kato Ojama, and I have done a little testing on both of them. There's more of that to come. To be honest, I'm waiting for it to cool off just a touch, because like you've seen in my past videos, sitting there with sweat pouring off me, you just can't shoot accurately with sweat running in your eyes, and that's just the way it is right now. But September is right here, and just as soon as it cools off just a little, I'll be able to get back out there and do a lot more in-depth testing, because I don't want to waste the bullet, you know what I mean? You're sitting there and you're doing everything to try to make the universe go right, and you're just sitting there with sweat running, your vision's getting blurry, you're so hot, you can't shoot accurately. And unfortunately, I'm pushing 60, I'm just not as good at it as I was when I was 20. I can't spring back as fast. And so that's where we're at with Project Spiller and Burr. So this question that had been asked to me was, what ammunition used in a cap and ball revolver, and why? Isn't it just a round ball or a conical, and why? Well, like our modern ammunition, a gun has the ability to change roles by changing ammunition. And so what you're doing with the ammunition is the use. So, is a general term, okay? The most common thing going to be used is a round ball, because it's the most widely available, and the round ball does a very good job. It really does, especially when it's cast out of pure lead. Because of that, it will adhere better, and upon impact, grab and flare out. Now, why did the military choose conicals? That was because of penetration. They were doing it at mass troops, and so if I could get it to penetrate through guy A and hit guy B, that's a win-win. But for our practical terms in the real world, only time I need penetration is for I'm shooting something big. So, round ball is for general target practice and general usage, okay? A conical, like those of Arizgone bullet molds, where it's the Colt model, it's the Richmond, it's the Johnson & Dow, etc. These are good target rounds. They're also good for deep penetration rounds. And that's what they were designed for, penetration. If I'm trying to shoot something large and I want it to go deeply in, that's what that's for. And it's also for long range work, because the heavier and more streamlined the projectile, like the point of an Johnson & Dow, will be more aerodynamic over the longer range. So if I'm trying to get longer range, a conical is a superior choice, because that round ball is kind of blunt and therefore a lot of wind resistance, and so it's trying to buck that wind, and so I will get better long range performance out of a conical than I will a round ball. But what are we talking about long range? Beyond 50 yards. Out to 50 yards, I'm not even going to worry about it. If you told me we're going to be trying to hit gongs at 100 yards, I'm definitely going to probably be shooting a conical. Unless it's a particular gun with a particular load that I've got really comfortable with and I can Kentucky windage it, the conical would be my choice to have the long range ballistics out of it, to try to be more aerodynamic in flight, kind of flatten that curve so it's not so much of a rainbow. So the conical, the historic conical, should be for penetration and long range work. Now, Kato Ojama's bullets. Kato is a hunting conical. That's real world performance. That's where I'm going to take this round, and I'm trying to use it on a game animal or some other thing where I want maximum impact. And that's what that is. It's impact on game. That flat nose acts a lot like a Keith bullet, like a semi-wad cutter. And that's where we're taking the modern bullet designs that came up in the early 1900s as a superior hunting bullet when people were still hunting with 45 Colts, 44 Magnums and stuff like that, for a carry gun on the ranch out west to shoot coyotes, to shoot wolves, to shoot wounded livestock, things like that. They wanted real world performance and something they could cast cheaply and easily because they didn't have a lot of money. And it might be a 2-hour drive to the next town that might even have a gun shop. So they wanted molds. So the Keith type flat nose and that distinct shape is very much an influence, in my opinion, of what Kato Ojama's doing. And that is a hunting conical. So if I'm going to be hunting, let's say I'm going for hog or something like that, that's where I'm going to pull out that Kato. So for general purpose and say small game, I would shoot a round ball. For long range, or I need deep penetration in something large, I would choose a Johnson & Dow or one of the Airs Gone type conicals. If I'm trying to put a big hit onto a deer, a hog, some large animal, that's where I'm going to go with the Kato's bullets of the hunting. Now, shot loads. I have touched on this in the past, and I have had so many requests for this, so yes, we will be doing in the near future, I'll be doing a little series talking about shot loads in a cap and ball revolver for use. Now, what is a shot load used for? It's used for up close 0 to 10 feet on snakes. It can also be used for varmints like rats or things like that in a barn where you're, it's a vermin or pest load, where I'm taking out those sparrows that get in the top of the loft of the barn, or taking out that wharf rat that gets in the back of the corn crib, or I'm going after squirrels that are getting in the pecan tree at point blank, it's only 5 yards out, I'm going to shoot him. Things like that. It's mostly designed though for snake. It's used in a measure of feet. So shot loads are for snake, really, and small game, and we're going to walk through that in the near future, so put a bookmark. Next, conversion cylinders. A conversion cylinder is where you, in the Remington, you drop out and drop in the conversion. The Colt, you pull the pin out and drop in the new cylinder. This allows us to utilize modern ammo in a percussion revolver, but this does not mean I can go buy that super hot, plus P, plus, atomic grade, kill the world when you pull the trigger, 357, and somehow fit it into a 38 case. No. You're still limited by the design of the gun and the pressure levels of the gun. So it still tells you, in plain language, cowboy action loads. The only thing you're picking up is now, instead of loading the loose powder in the cylinder, I'm loading it into a 38 special case, and I can put a conical or a round ball into that 38 special. Now I have cartridge ammo I can plug in at the range to shoot. But I've added some steps, haven't I? Because now I got to load that ammunition ahead of time, transport it, and then when I fire it, I got to clean those cases. And so you're adding, and I have shot pretty extensively. I wasn't shooting a cartridge conversion, but I was shooting a black powder cartridge revolver. I was using a 72 open top in 44 Colt, which is a shortened 44 special. And I shot a couple thousand rounds easily out of that gun, where I cast the bullet, I lubed it, I loaded it on a press, I had to turn down the brass with the thing, I had to, every time I got done shooting, I carried a milk jug full of water, half full of water. And whenever I got done shooting, I'd simply drop them into the water to keep my brass from deteriorating. Now when I got home, I had to clean that brass. Not only got to clean the gun, now I got to clean the brass. I got to tumble lube it to get all the powder fouling out, and then I have to reload it. So I'm adding a lot of steps, So I can see where people wouldn't mind having the conversion cylinders in 38 special, or 44 special, or 45 Colt, and then just buy factory ammunition. I can understand that. But what you're doing is you're adding modern, relatively modern component, modern ammo to our percussion revolvers. And that can bring some advantages. You can get jacketed hollow point or something that I could not easily load into the cylinder of my percussion revolver, but I can put a jacketed hollow point into a cartridge and load that and fire that. But that's bad for the gun. Our barrels are set up for lead projectiles, not jacketed. So, and I have a close friend that's made this mistake. He went and started shooting hollow points, jacketed hollow points, out of his cap and ball revolver. Now, if it's just a once in a blue moon, it's a special load I'm going to use for hog hunting, yeah, I might shoot 5 of them a year. Yeah, I could see that. The gun would take that. Going out every Saturday to shoot jacketed hollow points? No. The gun's rifling is not designed for it. It's going to wear it very quickly. So, to reiterate, the ammunition used in a percussion revolver. The most common rounds, and there are some left field ones we'll deal with later on. The round ball, general use and for target work. Can also be used for hunting small game and etc. It's never a bad choice, but there are better choices sometimes. Okay. The conical is better for penetration and long range. The hunting conical is better for impact on a game animal. Shot loads are for snake or small vermin pests and things like that, up close. And finally, the conversion cylinders are giving you modern ammo capability in that gun. I hope this clears up some questions of it. Yes, we'll still be going into that thing on the shot shells. I can hear you right now. But Blackie, yes, we will. We'll go over it and we'll talk about all of these. Will I be getting a cartridge conversion cylinder? To be honest, probably not. If I was going to go that way, I'd get another 72 open top and just load for it. Could be doing the same thing for me. I can take a modern single action Army or a modern Ruger and just drop in 38, special brass full of black powder into it and do the same idea. To me, it's adding a lot of steps and a lot of work to shoot my guns, and I enjoy the flavor of the percussion revolver. This was a design that emerged just before the Civil War. Emerged in the 1840s. It came to fruition really in the 1850s, and it reached its high water mark in the Civil War. And then immediately afterwards, it was obsolete. Yes, it kept going. It kept going beyond what you would think. But those guns had a very limited lifespan before they were outclassed by cartridge guns that stood upon the shoulders of the percussion revolver. And I enjoy the flavor of the percussion revolver. It's much like people that go out and they use bow and arrow to hunt big game with, or they go deer hunting with it. It's because, yes, they could take a modern scope-sighted rifle and at 500 yards kill it. But where's the challenge? I wanted to learn and develop this gun. What would a knowledgeable man on the frontier, Civil War veteran of, let's say, 1868, what could he do with that? That was the kind of knowledge I wanted to do, and that's one of the things that drove me into the romance of the revolver. And a line by Elmer Keith in his book Six Guns, where he said, "Great Granddaddy was far from unarmed with a loaded and cap and ball revolver on his hip." And I believe that. Hope this gives you some ideas, guys. Please leave any questions or comments, and thank you very much for supporting my channel. Till next time, I'm Blackie, wishing you safe journeys. Have a great day, guys.